In a groundbreaking discovery, scientists at the Quantum Research Institute have detected what appears to be a parallel universe, challenging everything we know about the fabric of reality. It began as an ordinary Tuesday morning at the Quantum Research Institute, a cutting-edge facility tucked away in a remote corner of the world. The air hummed with the excitement of discovery, an all-too-familiar sensation for the team of physicists, mathematicians, and engineers that called the institute home.
But today was different.
Dr. Ilara Niven, the lead physicist, was sitting at her desk staring at the results from the latest experiment. The numbers make no sense, yet as she traced them with her fingers, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was on the brink of something extraordinary. It had all started 6 months ago with a series of enigmatic anomalies detected by their state-of-the-art quantum sensor array. At first, they thought it was just noise. After all, quantum fluctuations were unpredictable, fleeting, but these fluctuations didn't vanish. They were stable, repeating at intervals far beyond what was physically possible. So they set to work trying to understand what was going on. Now, Ilara was staring at the raw data that would change everything. It was as if the very fabric of reality was bending, pulling them into a realm beyond their understanding. The data suggested the presence of a hidden dimension, a parallel universe running parallel to their own.
This discovery, it could change everything.
She hesitated before pressing the red button that would alert her team, but her hands trembled with anticipation. She knew what this discovery meant, not just for science, but for humanity. If they could confirm it, if they could prove the existence of another universe, the implications would be beyond measure. The boundaries of time, space, and existence itself would crumble.
Ilara?
Dr. Cassian Voss enters the lab, his eyes wide, his expression pale, but there is a spark of something else, a strange excitement.
I've been running the calculations, and I think we've done it.
What do you mean?
Cassian approaches the monitor, pointing at the data.
This fluctuation you've been tracking, it's not just a distortion, it's a doorway.
A doorway?
Yes, it's like a bridge between our universe and another. I've matched the frequency to the baseline of our known physical laws, and it's resonating with something completely foreign. It's not from here.
The room grows still as Ilara processes the revelation. The data is clear. They had, in fact, stumbled upon a tear in the fabric of space-time. The calculations indicated a rift to a parallel universe, one where the rules of physics and time could be radically different from their own. But the question remained, what lay on the other side? With Cassian's help, Ilara quickly formulates a plan to open the rift using the Institute's quantum manipulator. They would inject a series of pulses into the quantum sensor array, each one a calculated step to stabilize the fluctuating energy field. It was dangerous, untested, and fraught with risks, but the possibility of encountering a parallel universe was worth any cost. Hours later, the team is gathered in the main lab, watching with bated breath as Ilara activates the manipulator. The room trembles as a deep hum fills the air. The space in front of them seems to warp, bending unnaturally as a glowing, swirling vortex appears in the center of the room. For a moment, there is only silence, as if the universe itself were holding its breath. Then, as if on cue, the vortex begins to pulse with vibrant color, a kaleidoscope of shades that no human eye had ever seen before. The light is not just beautiful, it is alive, shifting and flickering in ways that defied logic.
Is it safe?
We have no way of knowing if the rift will be stable or if it will collapse, taking everything with it. But we can't turn back now.
A voice, faint but clear, echoes from the swirling abyss. The team stares, frozen in place.
We have been waiting. Do you seek to cross into our world?
We're here to understand, to learn, to explore.
What you seek is not just knowledge, but transformation. Your world is bound by limits, ours is not. But know this, once you cross, there will be no return to what you once knew. Everything changes.
The room seems to shudder as the voice speaks, and Ilara can feel the weight of its words press into her very soul.
Ilara, we have to make a choice. Do we step through? Do we risk it all for the unknown?
We step through. We can't stop now. We've opened the door and we have to see what lies beyond.
The team holds their breath as the rift expands, stretching wider, beckoning them. In that moment, as the light washes over them, the world as they knew it ceases to exist. Time itself seems to stretch and warp as they take their first steps into the unknown.
This is impossible.
But it isn't just the scenery that is disorienting. The very rules of physics feel wrong. Their movements are unsteady, as though gravity itself were unsure of their place in this world. The familiar weight of their bodies feels lighter, almost ethereal, as if they were walking in a dream.
I see you have crossed. Welcome to our realm.
Who are you? What is this place?
We are the keepers of the threshold. This is the realm of flux, the space between all that is and all that could be. You have crossed into what you call a parallel universe, but what you see before you is merely a fragment, a fraction of the infinite possibilities that exist within this reality.
You mean this is just one version of a reality? There are more?
Yes. Countless versions of reality exist, coiled within one another like the layers of a great cosmic web. This universe, your universe, is one thread. But there are others, universes where different choices were made, where different paths were taken.
A sense of unease ripples through Ilara.
So what happens if we stay? What happens to us?
That depends on your intentions. This place is not like your world. Here, thought and reality are intertwined. You must be careful, for if you are not grounded in your purpose, the boundaries between you and this place may blur.
The weight of those words sinks deep into Ilara's chest. This isn't just an exploration of a new world, it is an exploration of themselves, their very consciousness.
You can never return to what you knew. Once you see what is possible, you cannot unsee it. The change will stay with you, and your world will never look the same again.
Cassian glances at Ilara. He can see the uncertainty in her eyes, the tension in the way she holds herself. He is terrified, yes, but there is also something thrilling in this unknown. The chance to see the infinite possibilities of existence, to live in a universe that bends and shifts with every thought. But he also knows that their discovery is far from over. There is so much more to understand, to learn.
Where do we go from here?
The Keeper raises a hand and gestures toward a distant, glowing structure that stretches toward the sky.
That is the Nexus. It is where all knowledge of the multiverse is stored. It is where you must go if you wish to understand the full scope of this reality.
They nod, the weight of their decision hanging over them, but there's no turning back now. As they make their way toward the Nexus, the landscape around them begins to shift even more dramatically. The buildings and landscapes they pass are no longer just strange. They are alive, reacting to their presence. Colors bleed and merge as if the world is aware of their every thought, adjusting itself to fit their perceptions. For the first time, Ilara feels the overwhelming weight of responsibility settle upon her. They have crossed into the unknown, and with it comes an understanding that will forever alter their perceptions of life, reality, and existence. As they reach the Nexus, a vast expanse of shimmering energy unfolds before them. It is like walking into a cathedral of light, an infinite space filled with swirling patterns and shapes, fractals of cosmic knowledge interwoven with strands of possibilities that are too complex for even their trained minds to fully grasp. Ilara and Cassian exchange a glance, both knowing what lay ahead. They have come this far, and despite the dangers, despite the cost, they are ready to seek the truth, to understand the infinite web of existence. But as they reach out to touch the crystalline heart of the Nexus, something deep inside Ilara begins to stir. The truth they seek, what they will learn here, is not just about other worlds. It is about themselves. The cost of knowledge is steep, and for the first time Ilara understands in the vastness of the multiverse, the greatest discovery is not the universe beyond, but the one within. Ilara and Cassian stand at the threshold of the Nexus, the shimmering crystalline structure in front of them pulsing with an eerie, rhythmic energy. The Keeper's warning echoes in their minds, its words hanging in the air like an invisible weight. Both of them know the stakes. Their lives, the fabric of their reality, and perhaps even the future of all existence are bound to the choice they are about to make. Ilara hesitates, her heart racing. The truth of the multiverse, the secrets of parallel realities, everything they have worked toward, everything they have hoped to understand, is within reach. But the Keeper's words have struck a chord. Knowledge once acquired could never be undone. It would change them in ways they could never anticipate. Cassian, standing beside her, seems to read her thoughts. He, too, is filled with the same awe and fear, but there is something in his eyes, a flicker of determination that matches Ilara's own. Dr. Cassian Voss, Ilara, we've come this far. There's no turning back now. We have to know what's out there, but what they know. The whole world needs this. She meets his gaze. He is right. They can't turn back, not now. The curiosity, the drive to understand, has consumed them from the moment they discovered the rift. And yet, there is still that lingering doubt, that uneasy feeling in the pit of her stomach. Dr. Ilara Niven, the cost. What if the cost is more than we can bear? Cassian takes a deep breath, his voice firm. Dr. Cassian Voss, we won't know until we take that step. With that, Ilara makes her decision. She reaches out a trembling hand toward the crystalline heart of the Nexus, feeling the energy surge as her fingers brush against its surface. The instant she touches it, her entire body is flooded with warmth, and the world around her seems to dissolve into pure light. Time, space, and reality itself blur, as if the universe were reshaping itself. Images flash before her eyes, visions of countless worlds, each unique, each teeming with life, yet all connected by the invisible thread of existence. She sees versions of herself, Cassian, and even the team back at the Quantum Research Institute, each living different lives, making different choices. Some are peaceful, others chaotic, some are filled with triumph, others with despair. The sheer magnitude of possibilities is overwhelming. In the midst of it all, she sees flashes of a dark truth, a shadow moving between the worlds. It is subtle at first, a flicker in the fabric of reality, but it grows stronger as the visions continue, an ancient force that has been quietly shaping the multiverse from the shadows. It is not a being, but something far more insidious, a convergence of entropy, a force that seeks to bring about the collapse of all possible realities into a single final moment of destruction. Cassian's voice breaks through her thoughts. Dr. Cassian Voss, Ilara, are you... But she can't respond. She is lost in the overwhelming flood of information, her mind racing to make sense of the uncountable truths being revealed to her. In the blink of an eye, she sees timelines stretching out infinitely, all of them converging on the same end. It is as though she is seeing the past, present, and future of all things in a single instant. And at the center of it all, she realizes with a sinking heart there is a vast empty void that has existed long before the birth of stars or the formation of life. It is the source of the multiverse's endless fluctuations, and it is the force that has been pushing them all toward the unknown, toward the rift, Dr. Ilara Niven. Cassian, it's not just knowledge we have to worry about, it's this force, this thing that's been shaping all of reality. Dr. Cassian Voss, what do we do? Can we stop it? Ilara's heart pounds. The truth is now laid bare before them, but it is more than they had bargained for. The multiverse isn't just a collection of parallel worlds. It is fragile, teetering on the edge of an inevitable collapse. The Keeper had warned them, the cost isn't just the loss of their old lives. It is the responsibility that comes with this knowledge. Dr. Ilara Niven, we have to make a choice. We can't unsee this, but we might be able to change it. Dr. Cassian Voss, how? Ilara turns her gaze back to the Nexus. Dr. Ilara Niven, we have to find a way to stop this force from destroying everything, but doing that, it will cost us more than we imagined. The Keeper appears before them, its form shimmering in the air, as if drawn by their conversation. The Keeper, you understand now. The knowledge you seek is not without consequences. The fabric of reality is delicate. What you choose to do next will reshape the multiverse, but understand this, the path you take will change. It is a path you cannot walk alone. Ilara and Cassian exchange a glance. They know that the only way forward is together, and while they cannot undo the choice they have already made, they can still decide how to face the truth. Dr. Ilara Niven, we proceed. We can't ignore what we've learned. We must act. We have to protect all of it. Dr. Cassian Voss, we'll find a way to stop it. Together. And so, they step forward into the heart of the Nexus, ready to confront the ancient force that threatens to unravel the very fabric of existence. The road ahead is uncertain, filled with dangers and choices beyond their comprehension, but one thing is clear, they cannot go back, and with the knowledge they have gained, they will fight to protect the multiverse they have uncovered, no matter the cost. Their journey is just beginning. As Ilara and Cassian step deeper into the heart of the Nexus, they are no longer merely observers of the multiverse. The moment they cross its threshold, something shifts inside them. The Nexus isn't just a space, it is alive, a living consciousness woven into the very fabric of existence. It can sense their presence, their fear, their desire to understand. And it responded.
The ground beneath us, it's pulsing with light. Do you feel that?
Yes, and the crystalline structures. They're humming, creating a low resonant frequency. It feels like it's vibrating through my bones.
A shimmering doorway materializes before them. Its surface an intricate array of fractals, constantly shifting, expanding and contracting as if it were the very manifestation of possibility itself. The Keeper's voice, as ancient and eternal as the universe, echoes in their minds.
This is the gateway. To seek the truth, you must pass through. But beware, for what lies beyond will show you what you are truly capable of, both your greatest triumph and your most terrifying failure.
Ilara's breath catches in her throat. She can feel the weight of the Keeper's words like an anchor, pulling her down into a sea of uncertainty. She and Cassian have already crossed into the multiverse, but now they are being asked to take the next step, to confront the force of entropy, the thing that is slowly unraveling all possible realities, the being that has been manipulating the multiverse, causing it to shift, to tremble on the edge of total collapse. But what is this force exactly? What does it want? They have to know.
We have to know, Cassian. We can't turn back now.
With a shared glance, they step forward, hands reaching toward the gateway. As soon as their fingertips make contact, the space around them seems to snap. Reality fractures, time itself splintering. They are no longer in the nexus, but instead they are surrounded by an infinite expanse, an endless, formless void that stretches in all directions. In this place, nothing makes sense. The laws of physics are as malleable as liquid, constantly in flux, like the very concepts of up and down, past and future, have no place here. And then appears. It isn't a being as they understand it, not a person or entity with shape and form. It is something more profound, a presence that fills the void with its weight, a swirling mass of shadows and fractured light, the very essence of its power, older than the stars themselves. The figure speaks, if it can even be called speech. It isn't sound, but thought itself, transmitted directly into their minds. Its voice is as cold as the void around them. But there is an underlying sadness to it, an echo of something long forgotten.
I am the unraveling, the force that holds the strands of existence together and tears them apart. I am the entropy that erodes time, space, and life. I am the end of all things, and the beginning of new cycles. You have seen me, and now you must choose.
Ilara's heart pounds in her chest. She tries to speak, but her words are swallowed by the void, her thoughts barely able to form. Cassian, too, is silent, his eyes wide as he stares at the entity before them.
You have come to stop me, but you do not understand what I am. Without me, there is no rebirth, no change, no growth. The multiverse would remain static, frozen in time, and nothing would evolve.
But you're everything. You're causing realities to collapse, pulling them into each other. The fabric of existence is tearing apart. How is that a part of growth?
The unraveling's presence seems to swell in response, as though it is amused.
You speak of destruction, but you fail to understand. What is destruction but the clearing of the old? What is collapse but the end that allows new creation to rise? The multiverse is a cycle. What you call collapse is simply the space between, where everything is unmade and remade. The death of a star brings forth new worlds. The collapse of a reality makes way for another to emerge. That is my purpose. That is my nature.
But we can't just sit by and watch everything end. We can't just let you erase everything we know.
The unraveling seems to regard them silently for a long moment, and then its presence begins to shift, coiling and twisting in on itself, revealing more of its true form. It is not a creature of malice, but one of inevitability, an ancient, fundamental part of the multiverse, like gravity or time itself. It is neither good nor evil, but simply the force that drives all things toward their eventual end.
You think you can stop me, change me? I am not the enemy, I am the inevitable. You cannot stop entropy any more than you can stop time, but you can delay it.
Ilara's mind races. What does it mean? Can they delay the collapse, or is it futile to even try? What if the unraveling is right? What if the multiverse truly needs destruction to evolve? Suddenly an idea comes to her, a dangerous idea, one that carries an immense price. She has seen the pattern in the multiverse, glimpsed the countless versions of herself and Cassian, all facing this very same choice, and in every timeline they have either fought the unraveling only to be consumed by it, or they have chosen to join it, becoming part of the cycle. But what if they don't have to fight or submit? What if there is another way?
What if we don't stop you, but we redirect you? What if we give the multiverse a chance to stabilize, to heal, to change in a way that doesn't mean its end?
The unraveling is silent for a long moment, its presence seeming to weigh her words.
You would alter the fundamental laws of existence. You would challenge the very nature of entropy itself.
Yes, we can't control you, but we can shape the cycle. We can make it something different. Something that allows creation to thrive without endless destruction. We want to allow life to exist, across infinite realities, without it always ending in oblivion.
The unraveling's presence seems to draw closer, its thoughts like an overwhelming tide.
You are asking for an impossible thing, but perhaps that is what makes you different. You have not succumbed to fear. You have not fallen to inevitability. You have chosen the unknown.
For the first time since they had encountered it, Ilara senses a shift in the unraveling's essence, a momentary pause as if it were considering her proposition. Then it speaks again, its voice now soft, almost wistful.
Very well, you may try, but know this. The price of this choice is steep. You will not return to what you once were. You will become part of the cycle, forever changed. If you succeed, the multiverse will be forever altered. If you fail, it will collapse.
The weight of the decision hangs between them like a cliff's edge. There is no turning back. Ilara reaches out toward Cassian's hand, feeling the bond between them strengthen in that moment of shared resolve.
We have to try, for everything, for everyone.
For all of us.
Together they take the first step into the unknown, toward a future that is as uncertain as the very fabric of the multiverse itself. When Ilara and Cassian take that final step into the unknown, toward the shifting heart of the unraveling, the fabric of the multiverse seems to shift with them. The void around them becomes a maelstrom of energy, swirling faster and faster, as if the entire universe were holding its breath. The unraveling has allowed them to attempt what no one has dared before, the course of entropy. They're no longer merely scientists or explorers. They're now participants in something far larger, something cosmic, agents of change on a scale beyond comprehension. As they move forward, the nexus around them begins to dissolve, fragments of space-time shattering like glass. But instead of breaking apart into nothingness, the pieces seem to reorganize themselves, each fragment creating a new possibility, a new timeline, a new world. The air vibrates with a harmonic resonance, the frequency of the multiverse being rewritten. In this place, there are no clear boundaries, no laws of physics to follow. Ilara feels the very essence of the multiverse flow through her, and for a brief moment she understands everything. She sees every timeline, every possible reality, not as separate entities, but as threads woven into an intricate tapestry. The multiverse is not an infinite series of isolated universes, but a single interconnected web of endless potential, each thread dependent on the others. The unraveling's presence surrounds them, its thoughts coalescing once again.
You seek to bind me, to contain me, but you are asking to alter the very nature of existence. Are you truly prepared to bear the consequences?
We don't want to contain you. We want to transform you. We want to evolve the cycle. We want the multiverse to thrive in a way that isn't bound by an endless cycle of decay.
The unraveling seems to pause as though considering her words.
You would bend the laws of time, space, and matter. You would change the fabric of all that is. Can you bear the weight of such an act?
Ilara and Cassian share a glance. This is it, the moment of truth. The cost of this choice is unknown, but they know they can't turn back. They have made the decision to fight not just for their world, but for all worlds, every reality that exists, and those that have yet to be.
Whatever the cost, we'll bear it. This is the only way forward.
The unraveling's presence seems to flicker, as though it is both agreeing and questioning them.
Very well. The thread of possibility you have chosen will weave through the multiverse, but beware. The transformation will not be without sacrifice. To change entropy is to change the fundamental balance. You will become something different, something more, but also less. The cost will echo through all timelines, all realities.
Before they can speak again, the unraveling's form begins to shift. It is no longer a single entity, but a cascading wave of light and shadow swirling around them. The fabric of space-time begins to bend and twist, each ripple radiating outward, touching every possible reality. The multiverse is opening up, allowing them to see it all, the countless versions of themselves, the infinite possibilities of life, the endless cycles of creation and destruction. Then, with a pulse of energy that reverberates through every universe, they are thrust into the heart of the transformation. For what feels like an eternity, Ilara and Cassian are suspended in a state of pure being, neither fully conscious nor fully unconscious. They feel the weight of every possibility pressing against them, every choice, every moment, every life. It is as if they are at the center of everything and nothing all at once, their very existence intertwined with the multiverse itself. And then suddenly the weight lifts. They open their eyes. They are standing back in the nexus, or something like it. The vast expanse of light and energy still surrounds them, but it is calmer now, more stable. The fractured, chaotic flow of time and space has smoothed into a new pattern, one that is not random and destructive but harmonious, like the delicate balance of a well-tuned instrument. The unraveling is gone. Its presence, once overwhelming and terrifying, has faded into the background of this new reality. It is no longer the chaotic force of entropy that tore at the fabric of existence. It has become something different, transformed. Ilara and Cassian look at each other, and for the first time they can see what has changed within themselves. They are no longer simply humans from a single reality. They are now connected to the multiverse in a way that defies explanation. They can feel the pulse of countless worlds, feel the subtle threads that bound all things together, but more importantly, they feel whole. The parts of themselves that had been fragmented by the knowledge of infinite possibilities are now integrated. They have become part of the cycle, yes, but they are also its stewards, its guides.
Did we? Cassian began, but his voice trailed off. Yes, we did it. We've changed the cycle. We've given the multiverse a chance to thrive.
Now we guide it, we protect it, we ensure that the balance we've created endures.
As they stand together in the heart of the nexus, the infinite possibilities of the multiverse stretching out before them, they know that their journey is far from over, but they're ready to face whatever comes next, together. And with that, they take their first steps into a new reality, one where the cycle of creation and destruction is no longer a force of blind entropy, but a delicate balance, guided by their hands. The multiverse is vast, filled with endless possibilities. And now, with Ilara and Cassian as its stewards, it is a place where life can thrive, where every choice, every moment, every reality is a thread in the intricate tapestry of existence. Their journey was far from over. New challenges, new worlds, and new questions would arise, but now they had the power to shape those worlds, to help them grow and evolve. They were no longer just part of a single reality, they were part of all of them, and as they stood there at the center of everything, Ilara realized something profound. The multiverse was not a chaotic mess of endless possibilities, it was a grand, interconnected symphony, where every note mattered, every shift in the cycle created ripples that echoed throughout all of existence. The cost had been great, but the reward was something far beyond anything they could have imagined. Together they had saved the multiverse. And in doing so, they had forged a new future, one filled with infinite possibilities. Begin your journey by subscribing now. Thanks for watching.